following entries were found from a journal of a man who was brutally murdered. His name was not mentioned to protect his identity. As a kid, I loved the Looney Tunes. It was my favorite show. And hearing of the remake, the Looney Tunes show, I didn't know what to think. It looked like the jokes were lame, the plots were rushed, and it was nothing like the original. I watched the first episode, and it was a pretty good one, the one with Bugs and Lola. The next day, I was sent a message by a friend who shared my interests. It was a link to a video, and the message said, "Only a true fan can handle their twisted versions." I didn't know what to think. As I got to the video, it was flagged. I said, okay, and signed in. I noticed something odd. The views were only 6, so how could it have been inappropriate? Who knows? When it got to the video, the screen was black for 5 seconds. Then it cut to Bugs and Daffy's house. They were moving around, as if they were talking, but they said nothing. Their mouths were not even moving. Then I noticed an anonymous mask in the window. It was emotionless. The sky was also black, representing night. They kept moving, simulating that they were speaking and making gestures. There was also some sound, like a reverse electric guitar note, and they kept playing throughout the whole thing. Then I saw 2 people. They were both white female teenagers who were gagged. Then I saw both of them shaking, as if they were laughing. Then the 2 girls were set on fire. But they weren't cartoon looking. They were the real deal. Then they started shaking faster, as if they were sped up. Then it cut to Bugs, whose mouth was gone. Then it cut to Daffy's face, and it was weird. If you have seen the end of Suicide Melts.avi, where Mickey's face was white, it was like that. He was also rocking his head forward, like he was headbanging. Then it cut to Bugs, whom was covering his non-existent mouth. His eyes were black and his ears were drooped. And I mean impossibly, unrealistically drooped. Then I heard some piano music. It was odd though. It didn't seem as if it fit, and it was just off. Then Daffy looked angry, as if his family had just been killed. Then it cut to Bugs, who was now speaking, but he was still covering his mouth, on which I saw green substance smeared around, escaping. His eyes were now invisible. Same with his ears. Then Daffy was designed differently. His beak was gone and replaced with a simple slap-on mouth. His eyes were also slanted. Then it cut to Bugs, who was now shaking, violently. His face was gone and had a hint of red to it. The episode then had dialogue, but the video was replaced with some text.
If only you knew the power that one human can be capable of.
I laughed slightly, because this obviously had nothing to do with the show so far. Then, my speakers exploded with sound, even when I muted him. They were still making noise. Then a dialogue returned, but with one flaw. It was reversed. So I recorded the video, reversed it, and this is what it said.
Nobody realizes that one man can destroy the world. Humans are just too cowardly. All these nukes, all this power, and they just wasted.
There was muffled screaming in the background, followed by crackling fire.
Do you think we should end these sad, pitiful lives? Of course. And we were cartoon legends. Ha!
Screams were heard in the background. They both laughed, and it cut to black. A notification popped up saying that the internet had to be closed. I then went back to my history, and everything was gone. My computer then shut off in about 2 seconds. Then it turned back on in an instant. Every single thing on my computer was gone. Then the floor started to rumble. It was like an earthquake. Countless hours later, the news said that Kentucky was nuked, and I lived in Florida. It is unknown who did it, but it was related to the video. Today I was just walking around town, finding that I had some change left. and since I was getting thirsty, I decided to get a drink. So I went to the nearest convenience store and got a soda. The cashier was acting odd. He said,
"Hey, what do you want? A machete to kill that bitch who knew Kentucky?"
then he paused and sighed, as if he was about to say something else. During those seconds that felt like days, I was cheerfully just breathing heavily, feeling scared, like I was out in the dark. Since when did they sell machetes at convenience stores? Then he spoke again.
"Sorry, my brother was on vacation in Kentucky when it got nuked."
Well, that is all I have to say for now. It is midnight, and I need to try to get some sleep. I wasn't able to update my journal recently. I was very busy when I found a VHS tape. The label read, "The Looney Tunes Show, The Universe Ends. Copyright 1999. 1999? What does that even mean? I went to my friend's house with the VHS tape. He told me that the tape had the exact same episode that I saw. He got me the email of a friend of his aunt, who was the CEO of Cartoon Network. Bye for now. I emailed the CEO. It was about 9:23 in the morning. I saw a mysterious gray figure murdering my friend while I was getting my newspaper. I couldn't believe it. When I caught the gray figure's gaze, it was creepy. His eyes were just dark, hollow holes, and he was holding up a bloody scalpel. He pointed to it with his big claw in his other hand and nodded, as if to tell me that I was next. I bolted away, just packed my things into my van and abandoned my house. I have all that I need in my van. Oh, and about that email, here's the exact email, word for word.
"Hey, about the Looney Tunes show episode. That was the first episode, made by a maniac that worked in the CN studios for 3 years. In 99, his final year, he suggested this show to us. After rejecting it 2 times, he made this violent episode. We actually burned the original copy. We have no idea how your friend rediscovered it."
The writer was found dead in his house. Someone had apparently thrown a pipe bomb at him, then slit his wrists 8 times.